could have started from the end. Now I have a house for kids and even a big land. Who knew I'd have only made mistakes that would have been fixed with a slice of cheesecake? Demo Salvatore was my 18 dream, but now the only one I be with is Chandler Bing. Yeah, here I am talking to you since I'm 30 as fuck.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 30 as Fuck. This is Vanessa Rossi. I'm your host, and welcome back to another week, another episode. Wow, last week's episode was crazy. Paulina was here. We talked about so many things, and I'm always so excited when I have like a guest, because it makes me happy to have conversation about life, and it gives you a different perspective. Okay, so this week, I'll be totally honest with you, I haven't prepared anything because I was so busy. And so this one I was like, oh my gosh, I should like record another episode. I'm way behind, but I don't know what I want to talk about. And then I took a shower and then the light bulb went on. So I was thinking about last week's episode, and we talked about how we can be scared about the future. And so I was like, okay, maybe we need to talk about how we can be courageous about it, and how to believe that things gonna work out and that everything's gonna be okay. So have you ever feel that sometimes you have to make a decision, or you're working so hard to reach like a goal or something? Could be literally anything in your life, and I don't know, there's a little voice inside of your head that keeps telling you that it's not gonna work. Or it's not even that sometimes. Sometimes you're just like, why is it so hard to believe that I can do it? So I think it is a mix of everything. And we talked about this millions of times because I feel it's always, when we talk about mental health, when we talk about future, when we talk about life in general, it's always the same, like minestrone, my grandma will say. It's always the same, bullshit around and around and around. And talking with Paulina last week, I actually realized that it's really always the same thing, because she's 25, I'm 31, and we're both scared about life, about the future. We're both still looking for something that we don't know if it's gonna happen or not, and we're just trying to see if this could work. Sorry, I have like a hair in my mouth. It was bothering me so much. And so I realized, I was like, yeah, I'm 31 and I'm scared, and I forgot about when I was scared when I was 25. And no matter what, no matter the life that I lived and the things that I went through, I'm still gonna be doubting myself in 10, 50, maybe 60 years. So how do we believe that things are going to work out? Okay, so this is my theory. Or maybe the right question is, how do we accept or be sure that what we're doing is what we really want? What we're doing is really the thing that we're supposed to do. Okay, first of all, we will never know. I mean, we will know if we try it, okay? And it's okay to be wrong. I said it a million times. It sucks because you're like, oh my gosh, like I wasted my time. I should have done something else. But trust me, when people say you learn a lesson, you learn something, it's not bullshit. It's not to make you feel better. It's really what it is. It's just life. It's just trying things, learn if you like it or not, and move on. And so how do we try to figure out if actually this is something that we really want to do? Trust your gut. Now, I have to talk about this a lot because I spent the last probably 2 years of my therapy trying to figure it out, how to listen to my gut, because in the past I thought, at least 2 years ago, that I was listening to my gut, that I was doing what I felt it was right for me. And guess what? I was wrong. So it was very hard after that to be like, oh my gosh, like I feel this way. Is this really what it's supposed to feel? Like, what's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this feeling is what it's supposed to be. So my very diligent and smart friend the other day, Ruta, that I hope she's gonna be in the podcast one day, because we really have always like a very nice conversation about life that needs to be filmed and recorded, but we'll see. Um, she was like, we were talking. I was just like, I don't know. I don't really know what to do. Like I don't know. Like I was trying to do this thing the other day and I felt kind of sick. And she was like, okay, so maybe that's exactly what it's supposed to be. You don't want to do it. So whenever you're indecisive about something in life, and I'm going to give you my personal example, the way you feel while you're trying to do that thing, maybe it's going to tell you, actually, no, maybe, that it's what it's going to tell you if you're doing the thing that you really want. Then let's be actually clear here. Maybe the thing that you really want, it's not right for you. Okay? Maybe it's not the right thing to do. Maybe it's gonna go bad either way. Like, it's gonna go bad. But that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that you're gonna do what you want to do, what you feel it's gonna make you happy. And then, yes, maybe you're gonna be wrong. It's fine. It's fine. And that's what happened in my past. I did things because I thought it was what would have made me happy. And maybe I was happy for a little bit, and then it ended up being a mess. And so I realized that I was wrong, that I listened to the wrong side of me, if that makes sense. So my personal experience right now, I said it in previous episodes, and still, see, it's been like, what, 2 months that we're talking about future. We're talking about, future, what was it that, like, at the beginning of the year we were talking about making a list of things that we want to do this year, new projects and all those type of things. We've been talking about this for weeks, and still here I am changing my mind every 2 days. Even that, it's super good. So my personal experience that I don't know if I want to stay in this country, in Canada, and try to make it work, or if I want to just stop with this nightmare and leave and start a new life. A month ago, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to leave. I can't do this anymore. And this is getting always more difficult. I'm tired of this. And oh my gosh, I was so sure. And then I started last week to just check like some other permits to move to visa permits, of course, I'm talking about, to work in Australia, to move to Australia or UK or somewhere else in Europe. And I almost had a panic attack and I felt sick. I felt very sick. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to throw up. And that is the key of my questions, the answer to all my questions. It's okay sometimes to be scared about a big change, but something is like wanting to do something and just be a little bit scared but excited, and the other one is start feeling sick that you want to throw up and having a panic attack. Okay, so if you're want to do something and this is the type of feeling, maybe I'll say maybe it's not what you really want to do. Okay, and so that's how you listen to your gut. So my gut was like, okay, so maybe this is not what I want to do. And I tried to put on paper pro and cons of staying here and moving. And the only difference like between the two was time. And I had always a big problem on being patient. It's my main thing. It's a Libra thing. If you're a Libra, you're not patient. Like, we want everything right away. And so I was like, oh, so do I want to move to another country because I might be able to get the things that I want faster, or because I really want to? So what do I want to do? Also, then Ruta told me, she was like, okay, you need to figure it out if Canada is a way to get to the point to where you want to go, or if it actually is where you want to go. Because if it is just a way to, maybe there's other way to get there. There's other ways to get to the point that you want to go. And you need to kind of let it be a little bit more, or explore other options. If Canada is your last, if is the finish line, then you have to stick with it. So I tried to ask myself, and I was like, you know what? I think Canada is the finish line. I mean, at least I want to be able to, choose maybe in the future, if I want to stay. I'm not saying that I don't want to move back close to my family, because of course it's always like annoying to take a long flight and everything, but I want to be sure that I'm going to be able to come back, because I really love Vancouver. I really love Canada. And if I think about my future, I can still see my future house here. I can still see my future career here. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a feeling. And so this is how I decide. This is how I kind of like trust my gut on it. It's really the feeling of, yes, I'm still scared. Even if I stay here in Canada, I'm still scared that so to stay here, basically, just so you know, guys, I will have to learn another language. I have to learn French in the next 8 months. I can do it. And take an exam, like a test, and then hope for the best. Okay, because I'm gonna get enough points for my PR. But again, everything can change. They can, put an higher score by the time that I'm able to get it. So it's still like gambling a little bit. But does this make me feel way better than actually be like, okay, I have to sell everything and pack up everything and leave and start everything all over again? Yes, it makes me feel better. And then talking about time, I was saying about time before, it is just a time thing, meaning that I still have 2 years to stay here. And so why don't give it a last try, because this will be literally my last try, and see how it goes. And if it's meant to be, will be. Otherwise, I will have the time to actually figure it out, what I want to do, where I want to go, and don't have to make a decision right away. This is because sometimes also when life puts you in front of obstacles and you have to decide on the spot, you're never going to be able to actually decide. Like when you have to take a decision on a very major, like life-changing situation, you can't just give it a thought like a month or two. You have to actually elaborate it. You have to think about twice. You have to, and it's not overthinking. It's just like, think about it if it's really what you want. And so what was I saying with this? I don't know. I'm got lost in my thoughts. So it's difficult to just jump. So don't jump. Okay. So what else I wanted to talk about believing it. And so now that we figured it out what we want, let's say this. Now that we figured it out how to get there and what we want, how do we get there? How do we not start overthinking and start believing that everything's gonna be shitty? Okay, how do we do that? Good question. I don't think you can do much other than just train your thoughts and your brain that you're gonna make it happen. It all is connected to manifesting again, because it's always the same thing. And it's been actually proved by science that when you train like your brain to think in a certain way and certain things, that I think it's going to happen. I saw it in myself regarding my mental health. So little like parentheses regarding this manifestation and this believing that it's gonna happen. And trust me, even if I saw it, I still struggle. It's okay, like it's normal. But when I a couple years ago, there was a very bad time still in my therapist. It was like 1 year and a half, and I was like into therapy. I was like, why I don't I feel better? Like I should feel better by now. I shouldn't have this type of like anxiety. I shouldn't have still this slightly depression on me. And my therapist was like, hey, maybe we should think about some antidepressant or something that will help you out. And I was like, you know what, no, it's not matter, there's nothing wrong with it, of course. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to do it now. I want to give myself 6 months, and I'm gonna decide that in 6 months I will feel better and I will be totally out of this situation. Trust me, it's been hard because every week I was like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen next week. Next week I'm gonna feel better. Next week I'm not gonna be anxious anymore. Next week I'm gonna be super super happy and don't give a shit about anything that makes me usually anxiety, and move on with my life. And so week after week, day after day, 6 months pass, and my therapist made me notice this, and I was like, oh my gosh, like actually it is true. Like I feel different. I actually made it happen. Like it's been 6 months and I feel way better, and I don't have that type of anxiety anymore. And I look back and I was like, when did it happen? When did it actually happen that I started to feel better? I couldn't even point a finger on the day, because it was just like a day by day thing. And then suddenly one morning I woke up and I realized that I did it. And so I think this has to do with manifestation, of course, but also the training of your brain that you're gonna make it happen. I know that it's difficult because sometimes we're like, what's the other side of the coin? The other side of the coin of believing that you're gonna make it happen, believe it so much, is that if it doesn't work by so many other reasons, because of so many other reasons, then the disappointment will be, of course, way bigger. But let's be honest, between me and you, how many times you had to struggle with very like shitty things, so very bad things in your life, and you make it through it. So you're gonna be able to get through like a disappointment. You know, you're gonna be able to wake up the day after and be like, maybe you're gonna have like a long cry. You're gonna be disappointed for like a week and feel shitty. You're gonna have to eat like pizza and ice cream and a full bottle of wine, but then you're gonna move on because that's what you usually do, and that's how life goes on. um and so that's what I'm trying to teach myself too. I'm like, I'm gonna believe that this is gonna happen. I can see the day when my lawyer's gonna send me a message and she's gonna say, hey, you receive an invitation to apply for your PR. And I can see it. And I'm gonna just to believe that that's going to happen. Um, and just go for it and just believe that I can do it. Even if it's gonna be hard, because again, I have to learn French. I have to learn French. But I'm not scared because I learned English. I'm gonna be able to do that too. If I put my mind to it, I know that I can do it. And if it's something that you really want, it's going to happen. And if at the end it will not happen, at least you tried, and you can say, hey, I tried until the end. I literally put my full effort, and if it didn't happen, it's because it wasn't supposed to happening. And I know that it sounds like a very lame consolation on, second spot prize, but it's not. It's not, because I feel that um when you really try and you try everything until the end, at least you're not gonna have regrets. You're not gonna look back and be like, oh my gosh, like maybe I should have at least tried that, and see how it goes. So action of this week is to, let's do this. if you're feeling that you have to make a decision and you're not sure, list of pro and cons, because it's always good to have it. So between the two things, doing this or doing that. And while you write it, listen to your gut. Listen to when you feel kind of excited or leaning to. Have you ever? Oh, that's a game actually that I saw in a movie probably. I don't remember. But it's the coin game. So basically, you say had something. Like let's say, do I buy the blue or the pink bag? Okay, had is pink, blue is what's the other one? Oh my gosh, now I don't know the name of the side of the coins. Anyway, one is blue, pink is the other. When you throw the coin, in the moment that the coin is in the air, your brain is gonna go to actually what you really want. And so you're gonna be like head, 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 or blue, 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 or pink, pink, pink. And when it lands, you say what you thought in your brain, and that's what it's gonna be. And it's a tricky thing, but that's actually, doesn't give it's a game that doesn't give your brain to actually overthink too much and just go with what gets over there. And again, we might be wrong. We might buy the pink bag and regret it in a few months, but who cares? Like, that's what you wanted in that moment, and that's what you should go for. And this again, it's for everything, and everything that we learn, every experience that we're gonna have, every decision that we're gonna make, they're gonna just make us the person that we're going to be, and it's gonna be amazing either way. I saw, because I get inspired by so many TV shows and movies. I was watching a TV show, and this young girl, the university asked her to take a picture of her and to show through the picture who she was. And she got freaked out. She's like, I don't know who I am. How do I know who I am? And her father told her, you know what? You're right. You don't know, like, who you are now and today. It's going to be different tomorrow. It's not going to be the same. And I'm not talking about tomorrow as a metaphor. Literally, tomorrow, in 24 hours, you're changing. You're not going to be the same person. There's going to be something new and different in you through like some experiences, even if it's like a conversation with someone, even if it's something very, very small happening to you. Maybe you take a long walk or you listen to a specific song and will make you realize something, and you're going to change. So just take a picture of who you are today as much as you know yourself today in this moment. And in 10 years, you're going to look back and just remember that little girl and think about how amazed you're going to be knowing that you are going to be like you were that person and now you're somebody else through all the experiences that you had. So I'll leave you with this. So make a list of pros and cons, as we said, and then go with your gut, and then try to train your brain every day that it's gonna happen. Visualize it, whatever it is that your goal it is. Visualize it, not the time, not where, so not when, not where, and not with who, but just visualize it and believe it's gonna happen. I believe in you, and I know you believe in me, so we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work and look back and laugh about this and be like, we were so silly. Why we were so like concerned about this? This was easy. It was like eating a pie, it was nothing absolutely. As my song says, really, if I could know that all my problems will been fixed with a pie or a cheesecake, actually, I would have lived an easier life. Okay, thank you so much for listening. It's been nice. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like made up in the moment episode. I just wanted to share with you my thoughts and my heart today. and give you some hope for the future. I'm gonna work on something way more specific for next week, and see you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, here I am talking to you since I'm 30 as fuck.